So, Baha, since you were born in Bethlehem, which is also a birthplace for Daud alayhi salam and Isa alayhi salam, our prophets, it's also a place I heard the most beautiful place in Palestine with a rich, long history. So, well, maybe the listeners also want to know that how is the situation there currently?
Let me start by saying like almost every old and ancient city and town in Palestine is beautiful in its own. So we don't have that competition. Of course, like people who live in Hebron believe Hebron is the most beautiful. People who live in Al-Quds, Jerusalem, think it is beautiful. Nablus the same, and so on. But every corner of Palestine has its own private beauty. The significance of the city of Bethlehem comes from its 4,000 years old history. It's commonly known, as you said, as being the birthplace of Dawood alayhi salam. Dawood alayhi salam inspired resistance of oppression by the use of the stone, right? So when you see Palestinian teenagers who are the same age of Dawood alayhi salam when he was forced to go into battle with Goliath or Jalut, you know, he was a teenager, you know. That story of inspiration continues up until today, and you see it visibly with Palestinian teenagers confronting Israeli tanks, military vehicles, armed soldiers armed to the teeth with nothing more than a stone. The second thing about Isa alayhi salam, of course, the city of Bethlehem is located between two vibrant towns, Jerusalem, Al-Quds in the north, and Hebron al-Khalil in the south. And it has survived through existing through those two towns. Now, it's very difficult for us to relate to the significance of the city now. Because first of all, the state of Israel managed to separate the northern part of the city that leads you towards Bethlehem, towards Jerusalem, separate the highway that was used for 4,000 years. That highway or roads completely separating Bethlehem from the northern extension on Quds. And also there is a gate in the south that separates Bethlehem from Hebron. To add to that, like Bethlehem is filled with Palestinian survivors of the ethnic cleansing, refugees. The town of Bethlehem is a small town, but had to provide, you know, shelter and safety for Palestinian refugees who were expelled from 64 communities. Many of those communities were larger than the city of Bethlehem back in 1946, 47, and 48 in terms of population. But once again, being able to look after strangers and look after refugees is not something new to Bethlehem. You know, Isa alayhi salam was born there. He was looked after by the residents of Bethlehem 2,000 years ago. So there are so many beautiful aspects that we celebrate in Bethlehem day to day, but so much of that beauty is overshadowed by Israeli criminal behavior.